Welcome to today's video about symptoms of high cortisol levels. Have you ever felt like your body is in overdrive, even when you're trying to rest? What if the reason behind your unexplained weight gain, anxiety, or fatigue isn't just a bad week, but a hormone silently wreaking havoc inside you? It's called cortisol, often known as the stress hormone. Your body needs it to survive. It helps you wake up, respond to danger, and even heal. But when it stays high for too long, it turns from helpful to harmful. Here's the twist. Over 260 million people worldwide are estimated to be living with chronically elevated cortisol, and most don't even know it. It creeps in quietly. It changes the way you sleep, eat, think, and even how your sexual health. What does high cortisol really feel like in the body? And how do you know if it's slowly breaking you down from the inside? Stick with me until the end, because we're uncovering the 15 key symptoms backed by science. Some of them might surprise you. And one of them could already be happening to you right now. Let's get into it. Please note, this video is for informational purposes only and not a substitute for medical advice. All research is verified. References are linked in the description. All right, let's dive into the top symptoms of high cortisol, starting right at number 1. Muscle weakness or muscle wasting. Elevated cortisol levels, often due to prolonged stress or conditions like Cushing's syndrome, can lead to noticeable muscle weakness. This occurs because cortisol accelerates the breakdown of muscle proteins to release amino acids, which are then converted into glucose for energy, a process known as gluconeogenesis. Over time, this protein degradation results in reduced muscle mass and strength, particularly affecting the muscles around the hips and shoulders. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism provided evidence linking high cortisol levels to decreased muscle strength and mass, highlighting cortisol's role in the development of sarcopenia, a condition characterized by muscle loss. If you're experiencing unexplained muscle weakness, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. They can assess your symptoms and determine if elevated cortisol levels might be the underlying cause. Next, number 2. Weight gain. Experiencing weight gain, particularly around the abdomen, face, and upper back, can be a sign of elevated cortisol levels. This pattern often manifests as increased abdominal girth, a rounded moon face, and fat accumulation between the shoulders, commonly referred to as a buffalo hump. One reason for this specific fat distribution is that visceral fat cells, those deep in the abdominal area, have a higher density of cortisol receptors compared to subcutaneous fat cells. This makes them more responsive to cortisol, leading to increased fat storage in these regions. Additionally, excess cortisol can slow metabolism and increase appetite, particularly for high-calorie foods, contributing further to weight gain. A study published in the journal Current Obesity Reports found that individuals with higher cortisol reactivity to stress tended to have greater abdominal fat deposition, highlighting the link between stress, cortisol levels, and central obesity. If you're noticing these changes, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. They can assess your symptoms, conduct appropriate tests, and guide you toward effective management strategies. Next, number 3. Fatigue and low energy. Ever felt like you're dragging through the day, no matter how much you sleep or rest? That constant heaviness, like your energy tank is running on empty, isn't just in your head. There's strong evidence showing that your body's stress response system can directly interfere with how energized you feel. When stress sticks around too long, it starts messing with your internal clock. This clock, known as your circadian rhythm, tells your body when to be alert and when to wind down. But prolonged stress can flip that schedule. You may feel wired at night and completely drained during the day. That mismatch can leave you groggy, unfocused, and frustrated. Your cells also take a hit. High stress levels reduce the efficiency of mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your cells that create energy. If these don't work right, it's like trying to drive a car with no fuel. A 2014 study published in Integrative Medicine confirmed this, showing that people with persistent stress exposure had significantly reduced mitochondrial function, directly linked to feelings of physical fatigue and lack of stamina. If you're tired all the time, even after good sleep, your body's stress response might be working against you. Next, number 4. Sleep disturbances. When stress levels remain elevated, it can disrupt your body's natural rhythms, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. This disruption often results in lighter, fragmented sleep, leaving you feeling unrefreshed. Research has shown that individuals with higher pre-sleep cortisol levels tend to experience shorter and poorer sleep quality. Additionally, elevated cortisol levels can suppress the production of melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep. This suppression can delay the onset of sleep and reduce overall sleep duration. Over time, this cycle of stress and poor sleep can contribute to chronic insomnia. Studies have found that patients with insomnia often exhibit higher cortisol levels, particularly in the evening, suggesting a strong link between cortisol and sleep disturbances. Addressing stress and managing cortisol levels through relaxation techniques, regular exercise, and maintaining a consistent sleep schedule can help improve sleep quality. If sleep issues persist, consulting a healthcare professional is advisable to explore further interventions. Next, number 5, high blood pressure. It's not just stress that pushes your blood pressure up. There's a deeper chemical reason behind it. When your body stays on high alert for too long, cortisol levels can remain elevated. This hormone doesn't just trigger a stress response. It actually changes how your blood vessels behave. It makes them more sensitive to substances like adrenaline, which causes them to tighten. That narrowing raises resistance in your arteries, forcing your heart to pump harder, and that means higher blood pressure. On top of that, cortisol affects how your kidneys handle salt. It tells your body to hold on to sodium, and where sodium goes, water follows. This increases your blood volume, and with more fluid in the system, your blood pressure rises. Now here's what's new. A 2021 study in hypertension, a journal by the American Heart Association, found that even modest increases in daily cortisol levels were associated with a 36% higher risk of developing hypertension over time. That's a big deal, especially if you're under constant pressure at work or home. Pay attention to those quiet signs. Your body might be telling you it's time to slow down. Next, number 6, anxiety, irritability, or mood swings. When life throws constant challenges your way, it's natural to feel on edge. However, if you find yourself frequently anxious or irritable without a clear reason, your body's stress response might be in overdrive. The adrenal glands release cortisol during stressful situations to help you cope. But when stress becomes chronic, cortisol levels can remain elevated, leading to persistent feelings of anxiety and mood swings. Research indicates that individuals with consistently high cortisol levels often experience heightened negative emotions. A study published in Psychoneuroendocrinology found that participants who received cortisol reported increased negative affect and arousal when exposed to unpleasant stimuli. Moreover, elevated cortisol can disrupt neurotransmitter balance, affecting mood regulation and increasing susceptibility to anxiety and irritability. Understanding this connection is crucial for managing stress and maintaining emotional well-being. Next, number 7, depression or low mood. Feeling low for days without a clear reason? That might not just be a mood swing. When stress lingers too long, it can start reshaping how your brain works, especially the parts that control your emotions. High levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, affect areas like the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, which are deeply involved in mood regulation and memory. Over time, this hormonal imbalance can shrink these brain regions, making it harder to process emotions or feel joy. A 2022 study published in Psychoneuroendocrinology showed that individuals with consistently elevated cortisol levels had higher risk of developing major depressive disorder. The researchers also found changes in brain structure, especially in areas tied to emotional control and motivation. You might also notice that things you once loved just don't excite you anymore, or you feel emotionally flat, even during happy moments. That's not laziness or weakness. It could be your brain's stress response system going into overdrive. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Thousands deal with this every day. The good news? With the right tools, it's possible to bring balance back. Next, number 8, impaired cognitive function. Memory lapses, brain fog, or trouble staying focused. Ever feel like your mind just isn't as sharp as it used to be? That mental slowdown could be more than just a bad day. When your body is under prolonged stress, the chemical changes can start to affect your brain in some pretty serious ways. High levels of cortisol can shrink the hippocampus, the part of your brain that controls memory and learning. Studies using brain imaging have shown reduced gray matter in people exposed to chronic stress. That shrinkage isn't just theoretical. It leads to real-life struggles like forgetting names, losing your train of thought mid-sentence, or feeling mentally drained even after rest. A 2024 study published in Metabolic Brain Disease found that individuals with elevated cortisol had decreased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for decision-making and attention. This explains why you might feel easily distracted or overwhelmed by simple tasks. If you've been feeling mentally foggy or forgetful more often, it's worth paying attention. Your brain is trying to tell you something, and it may be time to take that signal seriously. Next, number 9. Frequent illness or weakened immune function. When you're getting sick more often than usual, it might not just be bad luck. Stress hormones, especially cortisol, play a huge role in how your immune system reacts. If those levels stay high for too long, your body starts dialing down the immune response, almost like it's running on low battery. That means fewer white blood cells are produced, and the ones you do have don't respond as quickly to infections. Think about it like this. Your immune system is your internal defense team. When it's constantly told to stand down because cortisol is overactive, it can't fight off viruses and bacteria the way it should. Even minor cuts may take longer to heal, and colds might hit harder or linger for weeks. A recent study published in Brain, Behavior and Immunity, 2023, found that elevated cortisol was directly linked to decreased natural killer cell activity, which is essential for destroying infected or cancerous cells. The study also noted that chronic stress exposure led to a 40% drop in these immune cells' effectiveness, making the body far more vulnerable to illness. If you're constantly catching bugs or feeling run down, it might be more than just stress. It could be a sign your immune system isn't getting the support it needs. Next, number 10. Skin changes. High levels of cortisol can significantly impact your skin's health, leading to noticeable changes such as thinning skin, easy bruising, and the development of purple stretch marks. Cortisol interferes with the production of collagen and elastin, proteins essential for maintaining skin strength and elasticity. As a result, the skin becomes thinner and more fragile, making it prone to bruising even from minor bumps or pressure. Additionally, elevated cortisol levels can cause the skin to lose its suppleness, leading to the formation of stretch marks, particularly on the abdomen, thighs, and breasts. These marks often appear as wide, reddish-purple streaks. A 2024 study published in Biochemical Pharmacology highlighted that individuals with prolonged exposure to high cortisol levels exhibited significant skin atrophy and increased bruising. The research emphasized the importance of monitoring skin changes as potential indicators of hormonal imbalances. If you're noticing these skin changes, it's essential to consult a healthcare professional to assess your hormone levels and discuss appropriate interventions. Next, number 11. Acne or oily skin. Experiencing unexpected breakouts or noticing your skin becoming oilier than usual? This could be a sign that your body's stress response is in overdrive. When under stress, the body releases cortisol, a hormone that in high levels can stimulate the sebaceous glands in your skin to produce more oil. This excess oil can clog pores, leading to acne flare-ups and a shinier complexion. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Medicine in 2022 delved into the hormonal influences on acne. Researchers found that elevated cortisol levels, often a result of stress, can increase sebaceous gland activity. This uptick in oil production creates an environment conducive to acne development. The study highlighted that individuals experiencing heightened stress had a significant correlation with increased acne severity. Managing stress is not only vital for your overall well-being, but also plays a crucial role in maintaining clear skin. Incorporating relaxation techniques, ensuring adequate sleep, and maintaining a balanced diet can help regulate cortisol levels. By addressing stress, you may notice improvements not just in your mood, but also in your skin's health and appearance. Next, number 12. Increased blood sugar levels. When you're under stress, your body's adrenal glands release cortisol, a hormone that plays a key role in managing energy. One of cortisol's functions is to increase blood sugar levels to provide immediate energy for a fight or flight response. It does this by stimulating the liver to produce more glucose and by reducing the uptake of glucose into muscle and fat cells. This ensures that vital organs have enough energy during stressful situations. However, when stress becomes chronic, cortisol levels can remain elevated longer than necessary. This prolonged elevation can lead to consistently high blood sugar levels. Over time, this may contribute to insulin resistance, where the body's cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar. This can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. A study conducted by researchers at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center tracked cortisol levels in individuals with type 2 diabetes over 6 years. They found that participants whose cortisol levels remained high throughout the day also experienced increases in blood sugar levels, highlighting the link between prolonged stress and impaired glucose control. Managing stress is crucial for maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Incorporating relaxation techniques such as yoga, meditation, or deep breathing exercises into your daily routine can help lower cortisol levels. Additionally, regular physical activity, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are essential components of stress management and overall well-being. Next, number 13. Low libido or sexual dysfunction. Feeling disconnected from your partner or noticing a drop in desire? It's not just in your head. When stress hormones like cortisol stay elevated too long, they mess with your body's natural hormone balance, and that includes the ones responsible for your sex drive. Here's what happens. High cortisol signals your body to slow down production of sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen. It's like your system is prioritizing survival over reproduction. For men, this often leads to reduced testosterone levels, causing lower libido and even erectile issues. For women, estrogen disruption can lead to less desire and vaginal dryness, which makes intimacy uncomfortable. A recent 2024 study published in the Handbook of the Biology and Pathology of Mental Disorders found that individuals with consistently high cortisol levels were more likely to report symptoms of sexual dysfunction, including decreased interest and difficulty reaching orgasm. The researchers emphasized how stress-related hormonal shifts can directly impact arousal and satisfaction. If you've been under chronic stress and noticing changes in your intimacy, this isn't about willpower, it's biology. Your body is trying to cope, but it's also asking for balance. Next, number 14. Irregular or absent menstrual cycles. Elevated cortisol levels can significantly impact menstrual health. When the body experiences prolonged stress, it releases more cortisol, which can disrupt the delicate balance of reproductive hormones like estrogen and progesterone. This disruption may lead to irregular menstrual cycles or even the absence of periods. For instance, increased cortisol can interfere with the hypothalamic pituitary-ovarian axis or HPO, altering the release of gonadotropin-releasing hormone and subsequently affecting ovulation. This hormonal imbalance signals the body that it's not an ideal time for reproduction, resulting in menstrual irregularities. A study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences in 2017 supports this connection, indicating that elevated cortisol levels are associated with disruptions in the menstrual cycle due to their impact on the HPO axis. The research highlights how stress-induced cortisol secretion can suppress gonadotropin-releasing hormone release, leading to menstrual disturbances. Managing stress is crucial for maintaining hormonal balance and regular menstrual cycles. Incorporating relaxation techniques, ensuring adequate sleep, and seeking professional guidance when needed can help mitigate the effects of stress on reproductive health. Next, number 15. Osteoporosis or bone loss. Your bones are living tissue they constantly rebuild and repair, but when cortisol levels stay high for too long, that natural balance gets thrown off. Your body starts breaking down bone faster than it can rebuild it. Over time, bones become thinner, weaker, and more likely to fracture, even from simple movements or minor falls. The key problem? Cortisol reduces calcium absorption in the gut and increases calcium excretion through urine. Less calcium means less material for your bones to stay strong. Plus, cortisol slows down the activity of osteoblasts, the cells responsible for building new bone. That's like having a construction site with workers on strike. A recent 2023 study published in the Osteoarthritis and Cartilage Open found that individuals with prolonged elevated cortisol had lower bone mineral density in the lumbar spine compared to healthy controls. That's a significant drop, especially in younger adults who should be in their peak bone health years. If you've been dealing with chronic stress and start noticing back pain, loss of height, or fractures that don't make sense, it's worth paying attention. Your bones could be telling you something important. That's it for today's video on the symptoms of high cortisol levels. If any of these signs hit close to home, don't ignore them, your body's talking to you. The good news? You can lower cortisol naturally. Start by getting enough sleep, eating whole foods, staying active, and practicing deep breathing or mindfulness every day. Small changes make a big impact. And if symptoms persist or feel overwhelming, don't wait to a healthcare professional. If this video helped you understand your health a little better, type "helpful" in the comments. It really motivates us to keep creating more life-changing content just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss what your body's trying to tell you. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.